how do each of you define a fulfilling life, and what steps are you taking to achieve it? I would say...
say it again. What was it?
How do each of you define a fulfilling life, and what steps are you taking to achieve it? I think what defines a fulfilling life is being oriented to the highest good, and placing that at the top of your priorities and catering everything else in your life towards that highest good. And to me, like, you know, you hear the generic spirituality term is alignment, I guess, but it's like every part of my life now, that steps that I'm taking is making sure that, you know, any business decision I want to make, anything I want to get into, or a relationship or whatever, I have to see, are these things aligning towards this greater vision of where I'm trying to take my life and the type of person I would become. And along with that, you know, a big part of that, just implicit in the aiming at the highest good, is the focus on service to others and truth. And like, there are all of these responsibilities that kind of come along with that. Yeah. And so I'm trying to grow into the person that can embody those values as strongly as I can. Mm-hmm. So that's my answer.
Honestly, bro, I mean, I don't think I fully agree with that. I mean, it's the same for me. Like, I would try to give a different answer, but I fully agree with that. And I think you maybe touched on it briefly, but servitude is definitely in there. I think a fulfilling life for me is being, I would hope to be fulfilled with helping others in some form or fashion, whether that be being a light in someone's life to the point at which that person becomes a light in others' lives, and then finding like complete satisfaction in that, not like hoping that when, you know, there's something in return. You know, oftentimes I find myself doing stuff hoping that I look like a good person, or that person thinks I'm like a lightened person,
or that favor will come back to you.
Exactly, and that's a selfish way of doing it. But I'm still working on being fulfilled with just being a light in people's lives and not expecting anything. Yep. No matter if no one ever acknowledges it at all. Yeah. Like, that's a hard thing to do. But I think that I have people in my life who do that, and they don't. I mean, parents do that, right? Yeah. You know, so I see that, and I'm like, you know, I'll have many opportunities in life to do that, whether it be with kids or with a wife or with friends. So I hope that I can be that person and not fall short of that. I think that's, for me, is very important. Yeah.
I was going to say that I think as far as the service conversation, when you, like, if you start making money, right, and you have more than you need, you know, I that Jordan Peterson line that always sticks with me is the price of privilege is service to others. And so you have that on the financial side that's easy to wrap your head around. You would expect somebody who's just exorbitantly rich, you know what I'm saying, to, like, you know, build some schools and, like, do some, you know what I'm saying, utilize that extra wealth that you have for, you know, you can have nice things, but utilize that. But I think that same thing applies to knowledge. I think that same thing applies to, like, you know, spiritual stability. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of the call to spread wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and evangelize in a Christian context. Yeah. So it's like, if you have gotten to a point in life, right, you're no longer in the space you were in when you got hit by the power line and we're sitting there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are still in that stage. Mm-hmm. You know what that's like. You know the thought processes that got you out of that space. Yeah. And I feel like you have a certain responsibility now. And that's not to say that you have just figured everything out, right? And that you have no more growth for yourself, but you're definitely not there where you were. And so I feel like there's a responsibility you take on for the people that are in that don't see the way forward. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, if I could have talked to my younger self now, you know what I'm saying, I think that might have, you know, maybe I wouldn't be willing to receive it or something like that, or like it wouldn't make sense. But, you know, even just planting the seeds in the idea that somebody can, when they get to that low moment, they already have the framework by which to get out of that place. Or being a light. Like, that's what I'm trying to articulate when I say be a light. You know, part of that is advice. Part of that is kind of guidance. But a lot of that, I think, encouragement, is just being a positive presence in someone's life is so powerful. Yeah. And it's also tough to do that because, you know, for example, you have someone in your life who's depressed. You have like a mother or like a son or a brother or a friend who's like depressed, and it's like
it's easy for us to be like, seek God or like read scripture more, get up, go on a walk every morning. Like, hey, you gotta start thinking about, you're thinking about negatives too much. Let's talk about positive. It's like easy to do that, but like you said, they might not be in a place to receive that. Sometimes the best way to go about it is like, yo, I'm going to throw Frisbee today. I'm like, you want to come hang out?
Yeah.
And throw Frisbee with that person. And you will be surprised with the power of good presence and being a light in someone's life can pull someone out of stuff. It is so ungodly powerful, not even ungodly, godly powerful.
Yeah.
That like, I think it doesn't get enough because there's no credit attached to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like a lot of people don't give it. The credit you get from giving people advice is like, they took my advice and it worked.
Yeah.
There's no credit attached to it. You just got to be a good friend.
Yeah.
Or you have to be a good son.
Yep. Exactly.
And that is a hard thing to do for people, because I don't want to hang out with depressed people. Right.
Right.
But like, hey bro, like maybe, hey, we're going on a walk this morning.
Well, neither does anyone else.
Come hang out with me.
Well, but neither does anyone else. And so it's like, okay, so then that depressed person is just in solitude. Like, so you know what I'm saying? You got to bear the weight of, I'm going to do these uncomfortable, difficult conversations. Alexa trying to chime in.
Alexa's freaking out for a second. Yo, you know, what's funny is that we can, I know we're ranting a little bit, but it's a good conversation. But like, what's funny is that a lot of people who are in depressed states love to sulk with other people who are in that state.
Right.
A lot of people who are dealing with sex addiction or alcoholism will go to places where they can indulge in those things.
Well, they can feel validated. They don't have to. It's when you meet with other people that are also doing that same thing, they'll make you not feel bad about it. You have a sense that you feel bad about it, but when you get to talk to them, you kind of get, oh, like, these people, I don't dislike these people as much as I dislike myself. So this must not actually be the source of that.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm in, you go to church groups, or you go to, if you're an Alcoholics Anonymous, you go to, because you want to be around those people. You want to be around things that make you feel the way, like, you don't want people, I want to be around good presence, a good spirit, because that's what I'm trying to be, or that's what I feel like. If I'm in an evil spot where I'm depressed and all these other factors, I want to go be with those people because it doesn't make me feel bad, for example. But, guess what? Like, when we have a certain duty attached to, and you've talked about this in a lot of different ways on the podcast, but there's a certain duty attached to when you understand the higher purpose and the good that you found in your life, even if you're still seeking it, how important it is in that good to then try to give it to other people.
Yeah.
This is I feel like we could go on this for all day because it feels like to me, it really feels like the deep answers of the universe. Like, it really feels like I'm seeing something outside of my understanding, but I can comprehend it enough to make it happen in my life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, and you wish that, I just wish I wish that I could just comprehend it at the highest level.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
I wish that I could be, obviously I can't be God. I can't be Jesus.
Right.
But I wish that I could just be the most enlightened person and I could spread, but like, even I'm seeking that. But when you have that, you're like, I see this person in my life who needs it. And it's like, it's like a constant cycle of what can I do to give this to that person.
Well, a quick like tidbit on that is that I kind of used to think of Christians wanting to evangelize or convert people a little bit more cynically, not really cynically. Some people see it very cynically, but it's like, oh yeah, of course you want to bring people to your church to believe the things that you believe. You're trying to have other people, because that's, if I'm trying to convince you of something politically or whatever, it's like I'm trying to I want you to believe this thing that I believe so that you can, right? But I've started the whole presentation of that on the heart is different, and it's actually I have this great thing, and I feel sorrow for you as a person who, like, I've been in a place like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, I want to give, how can I communicate this gift to you? You know what I'm saying? And advice isn't always the one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people actually don't realize the dark place they're in. So that's why you have to hit rock bottom to even switch it, because you have to have a moment of realization. Your moment was you got yeeted off the bike. You know what I'm saying?
Which is a low blow that's like a very like mid low, like rock bottom. Some people's rock bottom.
Yeah, some people's rock bottom is overdosing.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so anyway, all right. Well, that was a longer one.